Ready.
Hello world. Welcome to our first episode of a City Skylines series that I would like to get started. You may have just watched a pretty short time lapse of me getting the city to our first milestone, I believe it's called, Little Hamlet. And yeah, here it is. Pretty, very pretty. We have lots of prettifying mods. So I figured I would jump in here as my intro and place down some things while I talk about what's up. We're just doing some fun cinematic camera business here. We have our industry on display right now. To start, I will say that the map that we're playing on is called Fort Lowell. And I just chose it from the Steam workshop today. And I'm just in the small time I've been playing, I'm already very impressed with this map maker. Things are very pretty. They've placed down their roads and their props with care. And they even actually started us off with one of these two windmills. I placed the other one maybe with the Anarchy mod on. And they also started us off with water, as well as whatever these guys are called, which is kind of cool. Gosh, what are those called? You know, those things, toll booths. So yeah, power and water is taken care of to start the map. And like I said, the road layouts are looking really, really pretty. So yeah, map name is called Fort Lowell, Lowell. It's got all the resources on the map, all the connections, and it says it has 83% building space. Right, let's work while we talk here. So about what we are doing, I am using many mods and many assets. I'll just talk about some of the like actual game changing mods that I've got going on. We have real-time mod happening. So down here, you'll see it says 15:35 on Sunday afternoon. So that means that days of the week and times of the day exist, and the traffic moves accordingly. So you'll get like rush hour traffic happening when people will be normally going to and from work. And the like construction will pause overnight. Time moves more slowly as well. Also am playing with the realistic population mod. So this one household has 2 adults and 2 children. So basically the low density housing will have much, much less people, which is really potentially challenging early game. It'll be very challenging until we get to the high density unlock, I guess we'll call it, because it will just take us very long, much longer than typically to get the population needed for high density. Right, so we just unlocked garbage, medicine, healthcare, and education. So let's get some garbage happening here. We have a recycling center. This guy does pollute, yes. So I like to play as pollution-free as possible. So let's get this in here. I think I will keep him. Now, let's look at the area he will cover. That's pretty great, isn't it? Can't complain about that. So we'll put him right there. We need healthcare. Yep. Okay. And again, let's look at the area it'll cover. This one we will put right up with our little hamlet of people. And then education, of course. Hello. You might see that I have the Toronto Elementary Schools on and some other cool assets. So if you have suggestions for assets, of course, feel free to let me know. But let's just get this little school in here. It will be more than enough to cover what we need for now. So yes, realistic population is it's a really nice challenge. We're going to have to use a lot of the map early game to get to the population that we need to unlock high density. And then once we get high density, traffic becomes really fun in those high density areas because it allows for so many more people in those buildings. So it'll be a fun challenge, I think. Let's get some of this happening. How much was that? 1040. Like to keep them even if we can. And we'll get some more commercial up here. Yes. So what else do we have going on? We have traffic manager. You may have seen in the time lapse I dealt with these roundabouts with the traffic manager, although I forgot to do some things on this one, obviously. You might have also seen the roundabout builder mod. So yes, that will definitely affect the way that traffic works. I do have the electric roads mod, so the roads carry electricity. And I do that because these power lines are not only a pain, but they are also quite hideous. So I love that mod. I think it's potentially controversial. I'm sure there are folks out there that think it is quote unquote cheaty, and that's fine. Let's also do some of this. I really do enjoy putting just little pockets of shops in with the residential, because that's what you would typically see, right? Is a corner store. Is this? Yeah, okay, that's a drugstore, I guess. I wonder, are we playing with the UK on? I'll have to take a look. Also playing with Anarchy, as you saw, let me place one windmill down. I won't build outside of the bounding boxes too often, but that was just too convenient not to do it. And I have a whole bunch of mods that make things look really pretty. Can't name them all because I just forget. So sorry. Let's do this over here. What else do we have going on? And then, of course, I have a stupid amount of assets happening. I believe I do not have any assets that are growable buildings. I think I took them out in a recent purge, really just to help the game run smoothly. I have a pretty beefy computer, but it can get pretty intense. So our next goal is Worthy Village, so 950, and then Tiny Town. How long until high density? I think that's... is it this one? IT, yes. So we need 8,000 people before we can start to get high density. So that's our first big goal. Our first maybe smaller goal is to get districts and start getting some industry specialization. We have some farming available over here. I think this is actually currently set as, yes, as forestry, but I'm going to likely make it farming, and I'm gonna hopefully use this as a farming area. We have oil here and ore up here, but I do have the resource painter enabled, and I will not be afraid to use it. Overarching goals for this series is to take gameplay really, I'm going to say, as slow as possible. And just spend the time to beautify all of the things. I really want to make things look nice when we zoom in. And I think that's definitely going to be a fun challenge to do. So I'm just going to sit back and watch some Twitch streams and or maybe some Mixer streams. Let's see who's on. Don't park near the roundabouts. It's it's the wrong thing to do. So is this the bicycle lane? I used the wrong road there. Let's fix that. Of course, we enjoy bicycle lanes, but for the sake of being pretty, wanted the grass. Thank you. Excellent. So yeah, sit back for another time lapse and let's see where we come in next. We've unlocked Tiny Town. I think this is another good place to come back in and do a little bit together. What I'm most excited about here are the park and the industry areas. These are probably two of my favorite DLCs. Oh, that's worth mentioning that we're playing with a lot of the DLCs. Maybe the only one to note that we are not playing with is Sunset Harbor. It's the newest one, and it just hasn't been on sale yet. So one day it will come on sale, and then I will purchase it, and then it will be wonderful. But other than that, I'm pretty sure we have all of the DLCs. And I especially love the park area and the industry area. As you may have saw in the time lapse, I made this into farming goods, and I took away all of the general industry just because I love to have zero-ish pollution, if at all possible. So, and they have not started rebuilding very much yet. So what I think I will do, I'll show you this, is I'm going to make an industry area, which I know how to do, this one. And I know that I've already got a district here, right? And I've already come here, I've clicked farming, and I've clicked this. So this is a farming specialized industry area. Cool, fine. I'm going to leave that there so that any zoned industry still becomes farming. What I'm also going to do is do a industry area specifically here. And I'm going to, over top of the zoned industry, we're going to do the industry DLC. I like to do both so that it can fill up with both. And it's going to be fun. Something to note on the zoned industry. So I'll show you like this. All of this light yellowy, greeny, gross color has the resources available for farming. So any zoned industry that we put on here, if we do the farming specialization, will be, actual farming buildings that bring resources, so crops or animals or whatever. However, we also have this area zoned as farming with this guy, and there's no farming resource there. So when they grow in, they will become these production type buildings instead. So they will be still farming specific, Bread and Beyond, Juice Press, the real cereal. And they will take the produce that is gathered over here in the resource rich area, and they will produce stuff out of them. So that's something that naturally happens when you just do the zoned industries. We are going to do a similar, that pop-up was just talking about it, and I muscle memory clicked out of it. We are going to do a similar process manually with the placeable farming stuff. So let's get this main building down, and then we will unlock all of this. So we have a small animal pasture, crop field, fruit fields, and silo. So we'll place these down, and they fit perfectly here. This is what I mean when I say this map maker really paid attention. You can see that when I started to build roads inside here, they made it so that it has the perfect amount of zonable space in between. Just, yeah, great job, map maker. You did good. So let's get a few of these down. I'm going to do a pretty pattern. So that's a thing. And I love just to do like way too many all at once. Although, oh yeah, we have a good amount of money. And then let's get some silos happening. These guys are just tiny, aren't they? Yes. So I'll actually get one on either side of this building because they will fit. And that's where we'll start for that Chestnut Ranch. So we'll start there. We won't do any policies or anything. We do have quite a few places that we need to get named. So we actually need to even name the city itself. So this is how this is going to be until otherwise dictated. I would love something toady related, I guess. But if you've got suggestions for a naming theme or just for names at all of the districts, feel free to let me know in the comments below. So yeah, just wanted to show you that I'm gonna do both the zonable and I'll have the placeable industry as well. And then I think we're going to get started with our first park. I think, oh, autosave, sip of tea? I think we're going to maybe do it in here. Oh yes, and we'll get water and stuff going on. So now what all did we gain with that as well? Oh yeah, we can do all of the parks, all of that. Canals, that's fine. High school, yeah, we need to work on that. Excellent. So let's take a moment to build up a park, maybe get a high school down, and we'll go from there. I think this will be a good place to wrap up our first episode. You would have seen us reach Boomtown. The next milestone for us is Busytown 5500. I think we just got public transit, yes, which is great. That's something that we will need to focus on. But with the low density population being so genuinely low density, look, there's only 2 adults here, whereas in the vanilla game, you would see multiple families in one house. So with the low density being so actually low density, traffic is easy peasy. I know we've got some fairly gridded areas, which is not typically my style, actually. I put a little bit more of my type of thing to do up here. But it just makes sense when starting out because we have to use so much of the square. I think next episode we will need to end up purchasing a square, so I'm not too sure which one we will do. I try not to do too much work between now and then. I may just work on making things pretty in the meantime, getting some walking paths in. So that's something that I like to enforce. We have to be able to walk around these roundabouts. Yeah, making sure that people have parking. That's something I really want to focus on for the save as well, is getting the parking off of the roads and making sure that people have a place to park. So we will make that happen. Yeah, this is great. We made it up to population 2,800-ish in episode 1. I think visually it's looking pretty nice. This is sort of the elephant in the room right now, isn't it? Hoping that water will rise and we can put in those piers to help get some more entertainment value and get this guy up to level 3. So that is that. I don't know if that water is actually rising or not. I'll figure that out between episodes. Feel free to let me know what you think about the map itself and the visual quality, I suppose, in the comments below. And yeah, if you have any suggestions for naming themes and or names of areas, let me know. I'm all ears. Literally, my ears are, they stick out a lot. So this has been... Oh, we need to work on death care. I'll get to that. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. See you later.